to have you back. It is still Good Morning Anambra Thursday episode, and now we want to start talking with you in our discussion segment. And you know what is on. We started counting since Tuesday, countdown to election day. Today we'll have gentlemen that have joined us to continue counting till the next, perhaps less than 48 hours. We'll have the first person, Chief Edozie Ezugwa. Chief Edozie Ezugwa is the SSA to Governor Obiano on political matters. You're welcome, sir.
On legislative and labor matters.
Okay. On legislative and labor matters. Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, Anambra.
All right, and I also have Professor Dennis Ariboto, who's a lecturer with Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka. You're welcome, Prof.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. Let's hit the ground running as we count today. Dave is still here with me. Okay. General election will be held in Nigeria on 16th February 2019 to elect the president, vice president, and members of the National Assembly. There will be the 6th quadrennial election since the end of military rule in 1999. Primaries were held in the last quarters of 2018 with lots of controversies among different political parties, and then followed by choosing of vice presidential candidates, and the campaign began. And now we are counting down to the election proper, which is just less than 2 days away. We want to ask our guest in the house, how far so far? And I'm starting with you, Professor Ariboto.
Okay, thank you. I will say so far so good. Even with all the disappointments in the quality of the campaign and the engagement of the voters, as well as some other disappointments that occur in INEC offices, including that of Anambra State, and the assurances that INEC has given. That's why I say so far so good.
Assurances. Okay, we're going to that assurance very soon. Then, how will you assess the 2019 electioneering campaign compared to that of 2015? Ezra?
Well, every stages of election have different, approach. You can't compare the present 2019 and that of the past as 2015. We really have as much a political party as to compare with today, what we have today. Today, we have a lot of political parties, have a lot of candidates, presidential candidates up to 71. Then you can know the pressure that is going to be on INEC and the people. The most important thing is to make sure that the number of captured voters, about 84 of them, 84 million, let me assume that then between 50 and 60 million is going to be in the polling unit on different states. And the different polling units, you are going to have a lot of people there. Let us pray and hope that it's going to be manageable enough for us to at least capture enough that is going to vote.
All right, Prof, you talked about disappointments so far in the campaigns. Let's talk about these disappointments in citizen engagement. What are these disappointments you talked about?
Yeah, the disappointment for me is that, one, the political gladiators, those contesting various offices, are still talking about the mundane things we have been hearing for the past 30, 40 years. Citizens themselves are not making demand on these people on what actually they should be doing. So there is no adequate engagement. I don't know what is the problem, whether it is because of apathy, but if you watch other climes, political office seekers sweat it out, trying to convince the masses. But here is the usual thing we used to see.
Are you talking of just this 2019 election?
It's not just 2019. It has been there. It has been there.
And you feel the trend didn't change this past time?
I don't say anything. Because if you watch the debates, whether it is in television, in the radio, in the papers, the milking of the issues are not done. Just make general statement. I don't know whether it is because the electorate has not been adequately sensitized or mobilized or trained to be able to extract what they need. Because in democracy, the leaders should be afraid of the people, not the people afraid of the leaders.
So, some people have claimed that the debates were kind of stage managed. Perhaps that's why we didn't get exactly what you are talking about.
I wouldn't know about that because I wasn't part of those who organized the debate. But anything is possible in this country.
All right. Well, would you agree totally with him that citizen engagement was poor through this electioneering period?
No. I wouldn't, subscribe to that fully. Because if you are contestants, a candidate, you are looking for people to, vote for you. You must market what you have. You must tell them what they will know, that these are the promise, these are the kind of a covenant, this is a contract, this is what I'm going to do. It is left for you to sell whatever to the people, and you look for them. Wherever you find the audience, you must be able to come out, engage people. And when you engage people, they will pay special attention on you and know that you stuff you are made of. Because if you were to take sample of what happens during the primaries, we can use that. A lot of job seekers, a lot of distance were able, because if you have money, you can hijack the process. And that people might not have opportunity of choosing who they want. But wherever you have opportunity, no matter, it might not be on the major political party, it might be on the new legislative political party. You can be able to engage people and sell your manifestos. You can sell what you have, what you are going to do, likely things that you are going to promise them. And you must demonstrate, do you have what it takes to be in the position under that office you are aspiring to be?
The Anambra State government urges all residents of Anambra State who are 18 years and above and registered to vote in the election to hold on Saturday, February 16, and the rest of the 2019 general elections to go out and exercise their civic duty without any fear of disturbance from any quarters. Governor William Berners made a comprehensive arrangement with all security agencies in the state and some other organizations like the Anambra State Fire Service to protect all relevant offices, voting centers, voting materials, electoral officials, and voters. The governor has directed the police to ensure that all unauthorized persons do not move about on the election day with their vehicles in violation of the restriction order on movement of vehicles. The Inspector General of Police has already ordered that security officers attached to private individuals be withdrawn immediately until the election is over. The Anambra advised to report immediately any attempt to compromise the integrity of the electoral process or cause a breach of the public peace. The number to call for prompt action is 0703-919-4332. The number again, 0703-919-4332. The people and government of Anambra State are committed to a free, fair, and transparent election in line with our reputation as Nigeria's safest and most peaceful state. We are determined to ensure that the 2019 general elections in the state are held as scheduled and as credible as the November 17, 2017 gubernatorial election, which has gone down in history as the country's most peaceful and transparent election ever. Signed, C. Don Adenoba, Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment. All right, let's continue with the discussion. We are talking about countdown to the 2019 elections, matters arising, issues that are trumping up. And so far, we've been looking at engagement of citizens in these elections. What will be the assessment of our analyst in the studio? Professor Aribodo of Unizik is still with us. welcome.
Thank you.
And Ezogwa, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Legal and Union Matters.
Legislative
matters.
Labor matters.
Labor Matters.
Thank you.
Welcome again.
Yeah,
You're welcome, sir. Yes, before we went on break, we said we're going to look at the security situation in this country. Yeah. Is it fair enough for us to conduct this election? And then are the security agencies ready to contain any outcome that might come as a fallout of the election? Let me start with you, Ezra.
Thank you so much. Let me start by saying that yesterday, the two major political parties and other political parties met yesterday in the capital and decided to sign a peace accord. And that a peace accord commit themselves to peaceful election, process, both before, during, and after election. I think that has helped to a certain extent to dial down the tension that we find ourselves. Because you discover that as we are approaching to the final days of election, there is always tension. Tension, you can feel it by yourselves. You can see movement of people of different distance from one end to another and stuff like that. Of recent, we want to know that our INEC headquarters in our Oka here, burned, the two containers containing the smart card leaders, all of them burned to ashes and all those things. And the people were assuming a lot of things, that it might be the handwork of men and all those stuff like that. They cannot remove that. Now, these are the tensions here and there, desperation to, cling on to power. And as such, people are bound to deploy all kinds of, strategy towards that. I was in the studio yesterday trying to advance one thing. Not until our government decide, we Nigerians decide, there will be what I call a full independence of INEC in such a way that people will decide to elect whoever that is going to be in that position to organize what I would call election, general election. Until INEC becomes full independence, where they will have their funding direct from the, the budget as they prepared, probably from another agencies to fund them. Then they will detach them a little bit from the, government. Then they begin to, fashion, because in the time past, during the era of Obasanjo, there's a committee, presidential committee they set up, headed by the Justice Owers. They came up with this a very good plan towards that. And that, if we can go with that recommendations, then we discover that these issues of desperation to go into government, because people are having it in their mind, the moment they win and they have it, they are going to start getting this and that kind of thing, wealth. Until they begin to think of how they are going to make the government less attractive. Especially at the national level, National Assembly, State House of Assembly. You get people who are matured enough to, involve in governance. Because now you can see people, of different reasons, that jobless, that those who are failing in their business careers, go down into politics, and therefore create atmosphere of desperations and the intention to commit, fraud and that kind of crime.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Let's move ahead. We are still talking about security of the nation. I asked whether it's conducive. Talking about the signing of the peace accord, I think it was the main reason why that happened, because speaker after speaker, as I watched them yesterday, they were hammering on the security situation of the country, after which the Commonwealth Secretary, Patricia Scotland, made a very resounding statement. Pamper Nigeria. Elections will come and go, but Nigeria will remain. Will you please talk a little about security situation in the country before we get to the street and talk to some people?
Okay, thank you very much. As my colleagues said, it is our inability as a country to tell ourselves the truth on issues of election and governance that is creating this type of problem we're having today. The way the political parties are structured, whereby the people who are supposed to be members of the political party do not control those parties, the way candidates emerge, and the way we remunerate office holders, contrary to what leadership should be. All these things accumulate to create the type of tension we are seeing. But I want to tell Nigerians and in Anambra that one day she got bigger for
You wanted to
all right, yes. There is very critical issues about the accumulation or the factors that lead to violence, whether post or pre-election violence. Now, how do we ensure that this particular, you were comfortable to say that the next tomorrow will come and go without anything happening. But looking at what we have, do you think that if peradventure we have results that do not suit a particular candidate, that our security apparatus is actually strong enough to curtail violence if it comes?
Yeah, thank you so much for this question. The issue is that the main actions are not really. Most of action is after the election when the results started coming out and the declaration being made. And that is where the security agency have to, step up their game. And yes, the accord they signed yesterday serve a purpose. It's more or less a way of dousing the tensions. And it helps 2015 because then President Jonathan then was able to be choked up with reasons why, if we go the other way, they must have to consider Nigerian interests more than any other thing. And they accepted that. And this is the time for the leaders, the candidates, from the president down to the gubernatorial, to all the political parties to begin to speak to their followers, their members of the party. Because moment the election did not go in their own way, then you can now see people, agitations here and there, and the intention to, commit that crime, coming up. So I feel that the leaders themselves have to commit themselves to the spirit of this agreement, right from the national to the state level. The states have to be very, very decent, and all the governors at different level, different states anyway, must be able to step up, because this period is a very delicate period. And I expect the security agency to be very, very professional in handling the issues. Once they demonstrate partisanship, people are bound to read different meanings, and they can go violent.
Okay, sir. Okay. Let's take that as your last word, and we're leaving. Everybody, please, what's your last word as we guess?
I urge every citizen of Nigeria, every voter, to be peaceful. Go cast your vote, and let INEC declare the result. Whoever feels aggrieved with the result should go to the tribunal. To tribunal, as we normally say. Yes.
This is the elections court. Okay, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Chief Edozie Ezugwa, SSA to the Governor on Legislative Matters, and then Professor Dennis Aribodo, lecturer at Anambra University. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
I hope we are ready to cast our votes on Saturday.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
I wish you have your BPC too.
Oh, why?
Certainly.
Because somewhere I complaining they don't have.
All right.
We do.
And again, they must have learned to do this particular one. Use your finger and not thumb print.
We don't have enough time. We'll talk about that one tomorrow.
It's all right.
Okay. Thank you very much. We'll stand by for the next segment of this program, please.